Hey kids, welcome to this beautiful Monday morning. And today, what I want to talk about a little bit is the importance of an entrepreneurial growth mindset. So, here's the dealio. I can sometimes be a little bit slow on the uptake. Okay. I read a lot of books about being a good entrepreneur. I read a lot of books about mindset. And sometimes I read a book and I'm like, yeah, I get I'm picking up what they're putting down. And then maybe a year later, which is exactly what this video is about, I'm like, oh, that's actually what they were trying to say in that book. So I can be a little slow. The purpose of this video is to try to explain some principles of the growth mindset that have currently come very, very much into focus for me. And maybe if I explain it to you this way, then it will click quicker for you than it ever did for me. So rewind several years ago, right? I have these big dreams of running an online coaching business and making a lot of money off of courses and running this really successful digital marketing agency for coaches. So this was maybe 8 years ago, and I'm looking in the future, and pretty much everything in my life, whether it be new hobbies I'm going to pick up, new things I'm going to like take an interest and be serious about, for example, like meditating or yoga, or even reading more books for that matter. But I also had a whole bunch of other hobbies that I wanted to try to enjoy, like paddle boarding and boogie boarding and anything pretty much that has to do with the water. I'm a water skier at heart, and I really love it. And I just love all water sports. But 8 years ago, my entire mindset was, well, when I finally get the business up and running, when I finally, stop worrying about money and stop worrying about business growth, that's when it'll be a sweet, sweet, sweet day. And I'll finally be able to boogie board to my heart's content and paddleboard to my heart's content. It will be amazing. Okay. And I'll start meditating and finally start taking my life more serious. Well, that was 8 years ago. And I'd bumble along and I'd trumble along and I wouldn't really, do any of these things because I was always really envisioning my business in the future. And I just was waiting for that to happen. Well, I finally turned 40 a couple years ago, and it dawned on me, okay? When you turn 40, things, for me anyway, started coming into focus. You start looking at your life from behind, you start looking at your life forward, and you're like, okay, I am 40. I don't feel 40. But for this particular birthday, my family took me up to the most beautiful beach in the world, Cannon Beach, Oregon, which, by the way, if you haven't visited it, okay, I'm holding a live event in Portland, Oregon in October of 2021. Put that on your calendars. Come and visit. We will be taking a day to the beach. It seriously is one of the most beautiful beaches ever. Sorry for the sideline there. But back to what I was saying. It was a beautiful birthday. I was surrounded by family. I was just planning my very first live event, BAMCon, #BAMCon. And I was just feeling really grateful. We had about 100 people signed up for that event. I was selling courses. Things were going really good. And I realized at 40, okay, I'm sitting out in the middle of the ocean, boogie boarding with my kids, the first time ever. And I'm like, yeah, I am finally there. I am finally in the place that I want to be. I am finally there. And I look back and I'm like, I had all these plans. Like I thought that it was going to feel different. I thought I was going to like be ready to do all these things, but instead in front of me opened up more stuff that I wanted to do and more wanting and more goals and more like reasons to put all of these interests and things that will make my day-to-day life happier. There's 100 other reasons to put those off, even though I am now in the original place that I wanted to be. So that was a really big birthday for me and a really big, insightful way that I have been handling my life for the past 2 years. And I want to share it with you. And it's this, okay? If you're waiting to pick up a hobby, okay? The time is now. If you are waiting to like become more fashionable or to get really good on video or to finally take yourself seriously in your coaching business, and you think, I'm just going to wait until like I don't have to worry about money anymore and I don't have to do any of this, I'm here to tell you today is the only day. You are currently living your very best life today, and it is completely worthless to put all of those things off tomorrow, because guess what? You may never get to that spot, and you may look back on your life and say, I really wish that I had learned how to boogie board. I really wish I learned how to paddleboard. I really wish that I would have taken meditation more seriously, because I want to be the kind of person that does those three things. And guess what? You are the kind of person that does those things, whatever the things are it is, whether it is going to get a tattoo, riding a motorbike, whatever it is. You are that kind of person. So now all you have to do is start acting like that kind of person, and you will be that kind of person. It's not like you need to wander around and wait for someone to bestow upon you to be this kind of person that you want to be, the kind of person that, does all these exciting things, or builds a business, or is super dedicated, or is, very organized. That was a huge thing that I recently had a problem with. All of my life, okay? All of my life, I hear little voices in my head. You are not organized. You cannot, you will always lose your keys. You will always lose your glasses. And I can trace this back to several loving members of my world in the past 40 years that constantly also reiterate these back to me, more of in a joking way, right? Like, yeah, you'll never be able to find that. You won't be able to do that. You're so disorganized. But that's mostly because I'm telling everyone I'm disorganized. I tell my staff I'm disorganized, chuckle, ha, ha, right? But just about 6 months ago, it dawned on me, it's actually not that hard to be organized. You actually just need to slow down to speed up, and you can be the most organized person you know. All you have to do is start acting that way, and then it will be. Now, of course, the outer languages and the inner voices in your head will take time to change, but you personally can adopt that quality and become whatever person you want to be. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter where you are. You can seriously be anything you want to be. For example, my mom, she's rolling up on 73. Okay. She talks about, I just really want to crochet. So I was like, signed her up for some crochet lessons, kicked her booty into Idaho Falls, and now she's an awesome at crocheting. Now she has fulfilled that destiny, right? And so it's as simple as that. And like I said, sometimes I can be a little slow on the uptake, where it's like, well, yeah, if you want to be that kind of person, act in accordance. But sometimes in my head, my self-thoughts, all of these things are just shouting at me, and I don't feel like I can. I feel like envious. I wish I was born a different way with different things. But that's the beauty of a growth mindset, friends. You can seriously pencil out the kind of person you want to be, maybe a more trusting, loving, intuitive, organized, successful person. You write down their traits, you start acting accordingly, and then you will become a reflection of those things. It really, truly is that simple. If you're waiting for goals to be reached, or worries to not be had, or someone to give you permission to be all of these things, it ain't coming. It's coming in the form of this video today. So the takeaway is, what is that hobby that you want to do? What is that one characteristic that you wish you were not born with that you want to change? Figure out what that looks like, and it's time to seize the day, okay? In my dreams, 10 years ago, living in rural Idaho Falls, I never imagined I was the kind of person that would own a boogie board, that would go to the ocean frequently, that has a wetsuit, that cared about ocean tides. And what did I do? I was scared the first time. I don't know anything. I didn't know anything about boogie boarding or paddle boarding or any of these boarding. Went to YouTube, figured it out. And now I am that kind of person, and I'm pretty jazzed about it because it's everything I wanted to be. So take this message for what it's worth. Tomorrow is here, and start being that person. Start enjoying the spoils, okay? Because it's what's going to happen. You're going to reach, a certain level in business, or all these, certain milestones, and you will still continue to long and want for more, and you will never get around to enjoying everyday life. All right, kids? So there you have it. If you like this video and you want more videos about building an online coaching business, motivation and inspiration for keeping on going, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit like on this video, and I'll see you on the channel.